So 50th anniversary of this team. When you look around here, what do you think of as you guys started it all?
Well, I'm kind of amazed because our facilities were just Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
That was it, and the dressing room was kind of like a bathroom. That's the way it was back then.
And now you got a huge weight room and a training room. And
Yeah.
Are you amazed at the growth of soccer in Seattle? Just how it's gone?
I'm really surprised because Hank and I were talking about the amount of players just here training. We had us 18, and that was it. You know, we ran the stairs. That was our training.
Yeah, it's great.
But a pretty successful team, though. I mean, like, how often do you get together with maybe some of your old teammates, and what are some of the great or good memories that you have of this?
Well, this is the first time in 50 years for me. So some of them I didn't even recognize. They were, I looked at them like, wow. I thought I was old, but they're up there. So.
Did you move away? Why the first time in 50 years?
I moved to Sacramento after Seattle, 75. Then I played with Sacramento until I retired. And as my wife said, I got a real job.
When did you get the call that you were going to be, that 1974 class was going to be inducted into the first Circle of Legends?
Somebody called me. I don't know who, because I'm not a phone techie guy. So my son actually last month said, "Dad, you got messages from people," and I'm like, "What people?" Because I don't use the internet and all that stuff. So that's how I found out.
What was your reaction to it to find out?
I was kind of surprised because, 50 years ago, that's a long time. I just celebrated my 52nd wedding anniversary, and I'm 50 years ago. Wow. My wife kind of looked at me and said, "Wow, that's, you're old."
What can having something like a Ring of Honor or a Circle of Legends do for a franchise?
I think it not only gives the franchise legitimacy, it also shows that there was a process that they started that has continued until now, and hopefully it'll go further. We didn't realize that we were something special back then because we were just soccer players. We weren't, we were from everywhere, and we all got along, and I think that was the thing that kept us together. Even though we didn't see one another after we left Seattle, but, to see Hank and all these people, and I'm looking forward to seeing Pep, because, Pepe and I haven't seen one another in probably 48 years.
So you got a real job. What did you do after soccer, and what have you been doing since then?
Well, I ended up working with the Highway Patrol for California. So I spent 30 years as a highway patrolman.
How did I'm sorry. Keep going.
Prior to that, I was with AT&T. So that was a real job, as far as my wife was concerned.
Yeah.
All the benefits and all that stuff.
Do you get a chance to watch the Sounders much?
On TV.
Yeah.
That's about it. I come up to Seattle maybe once a year because my daughter lives here, and to visit her. But I haven't been to any games since I left.
So you'll be there tomorrow. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
What are you most looking forward to as far as the game?
Seeing the old guys and seeing how the game has changed. Like I said, they have this facilities here. We were amazed to find just a second field to play on. We played and practiced on our home field, Memorial Stadium. We actually parked our cars in the stadium. We didn't have any parking, so.
So I appreciate it.
What do you remember about that first season?
Well, Bestie and I played in Dallas together. So I knew Hank, and I knew Pepe from the 67 Miami team, because I was actually a ball boy back then with the Oakland Clippers. So that's how I met a lot of these guys, then ended up playing with them. So I felt comfortable. You know.
Were you guys surprised with some of the crowds? Some of the thing that we hear about is the crowd grew in Seattle that first season. Was it a surprise to you guys?
A little bit, because in Dallas we played at Texas Stadium, and 60,000 seats, but you only have 20,000 people. So coming up here and seeing Memorial Stadium packed, and then people also sitting in the end zone, and there weren't even real seats there. So it was impressive.
How did the Sounders leave an impact on you and your life?
Well, it taught me resiliency, because I came from a college where we were good, and to go to the pros, to have to sit on the bench. I'd play every now and then, but to sit on the bench was kind of like culture shock. But it also gave me that, hey, it's not going to come overnight. And then when Bestie brought me up to Seattle, it kind of reaffirmed my thought process that, hey, eventually you'll make it.
Do you have a
Last couple questions for Otey, guys.
Do you have a specific moment that you continue to look back on when you think of your experience with the Sounders?
Well, like I said, in college I was used to scoring a lot, and there was a 18-month drought until John put me in, and it just happened against St. Louis. And I think I fell to my knees, because I was like, wow, it took this long for me to finally score. That to me was the highlight.